please welcome the Global CIO of Mars Wrigley, Will Beery, and the Global VP of Digital Platforms, Pravin Moturu. Hey, Will, thanks so much. Thanks for joining us.
So Jan, I heard you're a big fan of M&M, so I brought you some special SAP Sapphire.
Oh man, that's amazing.
To enjoy.
Whoa, thank you. I love those. Especially my daughters, they always yell at me when I, sneak out the sweets from the drawer. So that's amazing. That's even SAP branded here, blue and white. Perfect. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Good. I think actually with you on stage, there's a great opportunity to ask the audience another question, because Mars has such a big history. So the question is, in what year did M&M actually become the first candy that was sent to space? 69, 81, or 99?
Wow. Ooh, 69.
69.
81's catching up.
You know the answer. What is it?
You tell them. 81.
The answer is 81. Astronauts on the first space shuttle flight actually in 1981 requested them on board, and they got them. So amazing story. But now let's bring it a little bit further down to earth, I would say. And Will, maybe we'll start with you. Can you talk about what prompted Mars to begin the journey, and what challenges did you need to solve?
Yeah, thanks, Jan. So Mars and SAP have been partners since my 21 years in this career. But a lot's changed since then. I mean, in fact, it's hard to believe, but we're 4 times bigger of a company from when I joined. And that's come from organic growth, but also lots of inorganic growth. So when you think of the Mars snacking construct, which you mentioned, we have the big Mars Wrigley confectionery business, but we also have a division that's housing those high growth acquisitions like True Fruit, Nature's Bakery, and Kind. And then I also have a retail business. As you see behind you, I have the M&M's World flagship stores, and we've most recently acquired Hotel Chocolat, which we're bringing to the United States. So when you think about our digital strategy and also the architecture that needs to be there to enable these businesses, it has to be more global, it has to be more standard, it definitely has to be able to scale, but it also has to be easier for those acquisitions to easily plug in and pull capability from the bigger businesses. So if I take that into the ERP, it's really a 3-tier approach. As you heard yesterday from Anand, we're using the public cloud to house, True Fruit first, then Nature's Bakery, now Kind. For my retail business, we've deployed a retail-specific RISE instance that will run the M&M stores, but also be fit for purpose when Hotel Chocolat's ready to go.
Amazing.
And Mars Wrigley, we're in the midst of developing, really more, customized, complex template with the rest of Mars Incorporated. And that will, that 3-tier model, it allows us the agility for the smaller businesses like Kind. It allows us interoperability across all businesses because we want to drive scale and efficiency where it makes sense. But honestly, it's also going to enable a massive integration if we were to acquire a sizable snacking business in the future. So it's working out really well, and SAP and RISE are really being a massive partner, helping us do that fast and do that at a lower total cost of ownership.
Yeah, that's amazing. Let's talk about your larger digital transformation strategy, and for that I want to bring in Pravin. You're the Global VP of Digital Platforms, right? So from one product guy to the other, how is the business suite actually driving your transformation, and what productivity gains are you seeing?
Yeah, sure, Jan. Firstly, I would like to set the context of how we thought about transformation, and most of you are already going through the journey. So we, as Will has clearly articulated, understanding the business needs, complex enterprise, as most of you are doing it, with a growth strategy and also the pace of change, the need for speed, right? With all these constraints, we started with a clear digital foundations. Right. And the foundations were based upon a model-driven architecture. And most of the times, we lift and shift and we build systems again and again. That's what we have not done. Versus what we have done is take this model-driven approach all the way from our business capabilities, business processes, data, applications and technology, and put those models in the SAP Business Suite. And that is helped us to build a cleaner platform for future, which is resilient. And that's one of the key cornerstones of our transformation. With that said, the productivity from Business Suite is enormous for us. We started with leveraging the automation that's already available in the business suite that really reduce the manual interactions and reduce the human errors and gave our associates time back. The real-time data and the embedded analytics really helped us to drive productivity and make accurate and timely decisions. That helps us to drive quality. And last not least, the AI components that the business suite introduced with Joule itself has increased productivity across as we have deployed it in our public cloud and private cloud. And it really helped us to onboard new users with change management and also learning. And I wanted to take a minute here to especially thank SAP for your vision and making AI a reality for your customers. With that said, a big shout out to our Martians in here and across the digital that are standing here, right? Thank you so much for your dedicated effort in your incredible journey. Thank you so much.
Good. No, thanks so much for those insights. Finally, we talked a lot about BDC the last couple of days, right? And what is the potential that you see in BDC, Business Data Cloud, and what's your advice for others that have actually or might have similar challenges?
Yeah, I'll start, Jan, and then Will, please chime in. So BDC has been a long waiting thing for us because it brings the standardization and the simplification and the canonical model structure, right? So we talked about the model-driven architecture. One of the key components and cornerstones of transformation is data. And then BDC, we are looking at standardizing our data and also our AI strategy, which is really critical. A couple of key takeaways for you guys on the BDC. First is have a clear vision and a good roadmap that has a purpose and value, and also engage your stakeholders, like the business and the digital at the same time, so that you have some early wins and accommodation of those ideas into your journey. Will?
No, I think you nailed it. I mean, very similar to the ERP strategy, right? You need to have that clear vision. You want to engage executive stakeholders in the process early, and you definitely want to get those quick wins on the board. This is going to be a long, complicated journey, and it's going to change. I mean, the sheer volume of technology that you guys have come out with since last Sapphire is amazing. So, it's important to get those wins, but it's also important to keep the stakeholders close, because you will have to inevitably shift and change gears as we go.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing your story. I can't thank you both enough. Great being a customer.
Very much, Jan.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much.